Okay, well, on to episode 136 of the Epic Film Challenge, and if you watched the last episode, yes, this is Before Sunset, the sequel to Before Sunrise. Now this film takes place 9 years after Before Sunrise, and it was filmed 9 years after Before Sunrise. And it follows the characters of Jesse and Celine, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, 9 years after their one-night encounter in Vienna. And we find out that, in fact, when they arranged to meet up 6 months after that one night in Vienna, that Celine wasn't there and Jesse was. And it's 9 years later, and he's actually written a book kind of based on that night, and he's promoting it in Paris, where Celine lives, and she turns up at the beginning of the film at his at a talk he's doing about his book, and you know, he meets her outside the shop and they start talking, and they walk around Paris, and man, this film is so good. Before Sunset, what I love about it is that it's all in real time, as opposed to Before Sunrise, which takes place over like a whole kind of day and night and the following morning. This is 77 minutes long. And you know, it shows you 77 minutes of real time, and that's brilliant. I love that. It really draws you in. I mean, I think, you know, a negative for making it 9 years later is that they're not young and they're not, you know, meeting each other for the first time. That kind of spark is not going to be in this one. I mean, their personal chemistry and spark is going to be in it, but not the kind of the spark of they've just met each other, you know, and they're strangers. And adding the element where it's all playing out in real time really kind of just gave it that extra kick, you know, that it needed, I think. Not to say that they didn't play it well, they played it just as good, if not better, than they did in Before Sunrise. I mean, they got their characters down, and the chemistry between the two is just, you know, it's charming, it's engaging, it draws you in, and you know, not many films, you know, for me personally, I can sit through that is just, you know, an hour and a half of conversation and nothing else, you know. It's brilliant, just them walking around and kind of resolving all the issues that, you know, that they've been having for 9 years after not seeing each other. I think it's a beautiful film, and again, another one of my favourites. Is, again, without a doubt, a 10 out of 10. But I kind of see them both as the same kind of film. Really, I always watch Before Sunrise and Before Sunset, you know, one after the other. And I've heard, they've talked about it for a while now, that they're going to make another one. Ethan Hawke has once said he'd love to just keep making one every so many years, just to explore this whole kind of relationship. And next summer, it'll be another 9 years since they made Before Sunset. So he said they're going to maybe try and write something, so that's really cool. With Before Sunset, the director and the two main cast members actually wrote the screenplay, as opposed to the first film where it was the director and someone else, so they really made it more personal. Another thing, Ethan Hawke was married to Uma Thurman, and he had a son, and they were going through a divorce around the time that Before Sunset was made. And in the film, his character is kind of not going through a divorce, but he's, you know, his marriage is about to break up really, and he's got a young son. So you kind of think that they kind of inject bits of their own life into it as well, which is really cool. So yeah, Before Sunset, that's a 10 out of 10 for me again. I'm giving too many films a 10 out of 10, but I'm watching a lot of good films recently, what can I say? So yeah, Before Sunset.